What is going on, my friends? Bruce Lund, founder, director of 90 Day Sales Manager, founder, director also of the Solopreneur Movement. Every single week, I come into your life with a podcast that is relevant to your business. And every single week, I try to bring an outside guest in, specifically in real estate, mortgage, title, insurance, or financial services. So today, I have my good buddy, Bryce Babcock, in the studio with us. Bryce is a farmer's insurance agent. I'll kind of let you tell your story. I want to give you a platform for you to humble brag on yourself. So Bryce, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, how long you've been doing it for, and then we'll get into the meat of the program.
Awesome. Yeah, no, just thanks a lot for having me. I greatly appreciate it. Just get back into what we're talking about. Farmer's insurance agent now for 9 years. Started back in 2011 February. It's like seared into my brain. It was a really good choice for me and my family and my lifestyle moving forward, so I was really happy to do that. My background's actually in elementary education, believe it or not, so I always make a joke that I'm kind of just teaching a different age group at this point. But yeah, teaching, coaching is my background, and insurance sales, it allows me to just do that every day, so I'm super jacked about that opportunity.
Perfect. And every time we come to you guys, we talk about just that. Everybody needs a coach in life, right? Trained people always outperform untrained people. And the more I spend time with talented people like Bryce in the industries, that's what these guys do all day, every day, man. They're just educating their clients, right, on the different products and services, especially when it comes to insurance and even financial, right?
Yeah, totally. It's just such a big thing that lacks within the sales community in general, is just that actual teaching piece. I feel like we all want to go out and make a quick dollar, but the actual piece behind it is educating and making sure your clients understand exactly what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. That's what's important.
Perfect. And so again, this is the Solopreneur Movement podcast. A solopreneur means that you are solely in charge of your day-to-day business growth. You handle your sales, you handle your operations, you handle your marketing, and most importantly, you protect your confidence and through your mindset. So Bryce, what we try to do on this podcast, or what we do on this podcast, is we give relevant information, especially for younger, newer people, right? So there's an insurance agent that's out there. Maybe they're just getting started in their business. They have all this energy. They're just trying to figure out what the heck to do with all of it,
totally.
Right? So I want to talk specifically about your business, maybe early on, but now what are the big three pillars of your business as you go out there and grow? So what do you think what are the biggest three pillars of your business currently, or even looking back to when you were first getting started? Because I know you've had a lot of great mentors in the business, right?
Yeah, I have, and I think that piece right there is the piece that's important, as you just said, mentor. I've been able to talk to a lot of people that are higher up in the business that are doing things that I wanted to do at some point in my career. And being around those people have given me the opportunity to be confident in my processes and be able to move forward in that sense. So being around people that are going to continue to push you, going to continue to raise the bar for you, I think is super, super important. That being said, systems. Systems is the big thing, and I know that you harp on that daily, all day, every day, but yeah. It's so true. If you stick to your systems on a daily basis, this is something I was not doing as a beginning agent with farmers. I would go out and I'd write as much business as I could. I've been a really good hustler, don't get me wrong. We'll write a lot, but it's when you have the systems in place every single day, it makes it really easy to get up every day and know exactly what your goal is to try to do.
Perfect.
And I think that's a huge pillar within my business.
How long does that take you to figure out?
It shouldn't be very long. It's really easy, actually. But we get bogged down with so many different things that hit us in the day that we kind of forget to do that.
Yep.
So I know every morning we talk about eating that frog in the morning. Get up in the morning and take care of those things that maybe you didn't really want to do, so that you can get back to those systems and just do them every single day so that you can become successful.
So that's perfect. So this is exactly the meat that we want to get into for our audience. You say eat the frog. So if you've never heard of that concept, I think it's like Mark Twain or somebody like that.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly who it is, but it makes a ton of sense to me.
Yeah, somebody way back basically said that. Like back in the day, what's the thing that you really don't want to do? The first thing, eat that frog, get it out of the way, even though it's an important thing.
Totally.
So for your business, what is that frog?
That frog is any billing related questions maybe that I have to answer that my staff can't, possibly some claim situations that need to be answered and need to be adhered to a little bit further than just something that my staff can do. Just things that I quite frankly are my busy work type things. I get them done I try to get up at between 5 and 6 in the morning and get those things done as soon as possible, so that from 7 to 4 I'm battling.
Good.
Battling hard, and I'm having fun doing it, by the way.
So
That's the hard part.
So you kind of do it differently than a lot of people then, from what I understand. A lot of people, they have the miracle morning, right? Their morning routine, they get up, they take care of themselves. and then they do some prospecting. They do something that's the highest use of their time as far as prospecting.
Yeah.
You kind of do the opposite, where you get up and do the things that you really don't want to do for your business because you enjoy all the other things. Is that accurate?
Totally. Actually, it's funny because so my process it's every morning, and my wife and kids can tell you this because they're up. But my process is the same. I get up every morning prior to a workout, and I get an hour of that eat your frog type stuff done in my book of business. And then I go work out for an hour and a half.
Good.
Super important for me. I love working out. Stress reliever. I've always been an athlete, so it's something that I take super serious. And then by 9 o'clock, I'm ready to rock, and I'm smoothly sailing into my day of things that I enjoy doing, like podcasts, meeting with clients, meeting with people, just being around individuals that are going to raise me not only as a person but as a business owner as well.
And Bryce is the stereotypical insurance agent when it comes to being good at golf, by the way. So if he ever asks you to go golf with him, just know he's a scratch golfer and he's going to make you look really, really bad.
No, we'll have a good time. We'll drink some beer.
But I will say I had my best round ever with Bryce. He was really helping me dial in my distances with my iron, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude, I had a blast.
Your
I
coach.
always have a blast. I definitely am a coach.
You're a
I
coach.
like helping other people.
That's exactly right. So let's get into then the 3 pillars for your business.
Yep.
So just go ahead and whether you want to state all 3 of them and then start one by one, but what are those 3?
Well, I would say just in 3 words, what the pillars are in my business is, especially in insurance, availability is super important, making sure that when a client has a need that we're there, handling everything with integrity, and making sure that we do things the right way. I've had some situations within just being young in the agency, and it's hard always to do the right thing all the time. It really is, and you really have to. And then just kind of being motivated and being somebody that wants to continue to compete. I've always been an athlete forever. You talk about that within your class as well, growing up being an athlete. It just gives you a different mindset every day, I feel like. And I've been through adversity on a daily basis from an athletic standpoint. I played college golf. Wasn't as good as I wanted to be, and so I just take that into my business, and it's a lot easier competition within my business than it was on the golf course.
There you go.
Straightforward. So yeah, I'd say those are my 3 pillars.
Okay. So let's go through the first one. How do you specifically apply that then in your business?
So well, let's talk about availability. So first off, I have a staff that I've put together that is second to none, and I would put them up against anybody's staff in any business out there. I love my staff, and I have someone specifically there not 24 hours a day, through email 24 hours a day, but I mean 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night, someone that's there to answer your needs and your calls, and I don't care what those needs are. You can call in and talk to us about anything you want to talk about, and we're there. So the availability piece is huge. I'm also very available for my staff, which I think is a different way of looking at it. I'm always available for my staff when they have questions, things they want to answer, and just making sure that I'm always around to continue to drive the business in a positive direction, whether that's staff meetings, that's bonding events, things that we do together that I think that they want to do. I want to make my business a fun place to be around. And so being available for them and being available for our clients is super important.
So being available, a lot of people would tell you, you work the 8 to 5 and then you got to shut it down to spend time with your family. What do you think about that notion?
I mean, I love that idea. I wish that was always the case, but I mean, when you're an entrepreneur, that's not the case at all. There's times where I'm having to answer calls at dinner. I don't like to, but if it's important, we'll do it. I'm sending emails at 9 p.m. I'm doing things at 10 p.m. So a lot of people look at my lifestyle since I'm the business owner now. I'm out on the golf course, or I'm doing something different. I'm always trying to be around clients. I'm always trying to make sure that the business is continuing to move in a proper direction. So it's a full-time gig. Being a solopreneur is definitely a full-time gig. There's no off and on switch. It's kind of you're there for everyone at all times.
Well, I love that you bring this up because I do think that's it's a big challenge for a lot of people, right? Especially when you have your family and your wife at home and your kids and they demand your attention. And a lot of times it's getting them to understand for us to have the autonomy to go. I'm sure you guys get to go do things.
We just came
really
back from
fun,
San Diego
cool things.
just literally an hour or 24 hours ago.
There you go. So you get to go do really fun, cool things that not a lot of people get to go do with their families. So it's kind of educating them on, there are times when I'm at home that I have to do X, Y, Z, that I do have to work, because that creates the autonomy for us to go do these things that we want to go do.
Yeah, well, the way I look at it is you can either work 9 to 5 for the next 30 years of your life, okay, and continue to have the same vacation time and the same parameters around that. You'll have your cool, health benefits and your 401k that your company contributes to, which is fine. Or you can go ahead and go out there and go hard for 10 to 15 years, build something that has value that you can pass on to somebody else, And that to me is a lot more appetizing. I'd like to retire at 45. Right now I'm 32 years old. So I look at myself as having 12 more years of I guess that's 13 more years of just working my butt off and making this thing the best that it possibly can be. And then being able to take time for myself. I think that's also really important.
Yep. All right, so let's rewind. So you're 32. You said you got started 9 years ago, which basically means, if I'm good at math, you're 23-ish.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Boom.
So let's go back to 23-year-old Bryce before you had your operations team and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What did that look like?
It looked all over the place.
Okay.
But it looked like a kid that worked really hard.
Okay.
So daily was, going through the call lists, going through the prospecting list, making sure I had time set aside just for the specific lines of business that I wanted to write. Everyone always promised you that ideal career 10 years down the road of what that might look like or where you might be today, but you got to have a lot of perseverance. You have to have a lot of just go get it and not care about what other people think to get to that goal. If you listen to what other people think, you're not going to get there.
Yeah.
You really won't. Or at least if you take it to heart, you're not.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's something that this podcast will bring out a lot of every time you have somebody on.
Yep.
But it's just, I just was fresh out of college, didn't really know 100% what I was going to do. I didn't know what money was at the time. And so it was really easy to make that transition to just work hard and make as much as I could.
Yep.
And then I started to shape myself as a business owner and
I love it, man.
Now.
That's right.
Yeah.
At what point then do you start to try to build out a team? Because this is for solopreneurs that are maybe just getting started in insurance. And a lot of people, I talked about this in a previous podcast, a lot of people try to skip rungs. They try to go from, all right, I'm a business owner, well, hey, let's go grow and scale a team. And they're not producing any kind of consistent revenue.
Yeah.
And so they try to do it too quickly. What kind of things did you learn in that process?
Well, I don't think that you should staff up at all until you're forced to.
Okay.
I don't think you need to go out and try to prove to yourself that you're a business owner by spending a bunch of money on somebody to come do what you can do as a business owner in the beginning. I would say for insurance agents in general, and this will talk to them, is I'd say I started staffing right when I got to about $1.5 million in premium within my agency. So that may not say a whole lot to you, but to them, the insurance agents that are watching, they'll kind of understand that. That's kind of when I couldn't do everything myself anymore and continue to bring in the type of revenue that I wanted to.
Yep.
So my advice is there's no reason to hire staff until you personally can't do the jobs that staff person is going to do for you. I see too many people that walk in with 3 or 4 staff trying to staff out a huge team, and they're underwater in 2 minutes because they don't have the revenue to bring it in. So I'd say work your butt off and then go there.
So this is the exact, this is the reason this podcast exists, is that right there, right?
Yep.
You giving people a tangible information, because
Totally.
like you said, it's like a lot of times we're filled with, hey, let's go scale a business and grow a business, and then you do get underwater, right? You take on way too much overhead and all that kind of stuff, and now you can't, now you are staying up at night because you can't support the actual
Is that
business.
not like the one single way to just kill your business in
Yeah.
2 seconds is just to put yourself underwater
Yeah.
by giving somebody a task that you personally could still do?
That's exactly right.
I think it's
Yep.
it's nuts, but people do it.
Yep. But eventually what happens is you have so much incoming demand that you do have to bring somebody on board
Totally.
to help you with that.
Yeah, and it's the best time in the world when you have so much business coming into where you have to staff, and then you add another staff. It's very exciting. It's very cool.
Yeah.
It brings a whole nother teaching element into your business because
Yeah.
you're now having to teach staff exactly what you did to grow your business. So it's kind of a bittersweet moment, to be honest with you. And the hard part, this is another thing you guys can take away, is I had a really hard time allowing somebody else to do the things that I did on a day-to-day basis because I have my stamp on everything, right? Just like you have your stamp on everything.
Yep.
And it's just hard to let somebody else put their stamp on what you've done and what you've built. But when you get to that point, the only way to become tremendously successful is by delegating and allowing your team to continue to grow and having faith in your employees.
Perfect. So let's get into, obviously, like when I spend time with talent, I like to talk about the things that I think you do well, selfishly, because I want to learn from
Cool.
you. And I do know you're a big connector, right? As an not even just an insurance guy, but just as a business owner. You know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And you're really good, in my opinion, at connecting with a lot of different people.
Totally.
Talk about like that strategy, whether it's a strategy, whether it's something you learned, whether it's something you've always had, but just talk through that process of your ability to connect with people, especially other business owners and influencers.
Yeah, this changed honestly big for me about 4 years ago. And what it came down to was do I want to continue to try to serve myself, or do I want to start helping serve other people? And I realized that serving other people served my business a lot better than me trying to serve myself. So what I mean by that is, I don't care what business you're in. I'm always just trying to do business with good people, people that make my job fun, make me want to get up every morning and go hang out with those people. Because if you're going to do something every day that you don't enjoy, then that's just not what that's not where we're trying to be. So from that aspect, I literally just said, what can I do to give? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try my best to find as many business owners that want my help, and I'm going to give to them. And in return, there's not one person that I've helped in the past that has not reciprocated back to me.
Good.
Right? And those are the people that you want to be around for a while. The other piece of it too, and I think you've probably hit on this before, is that I'm not trying to go talk to 3,000 people. I'm not trying to go fishing with a huge net. What I'm trying to do is find my 20 to 25, maybe 50 if they're authentic enough. I'm trying to find those people to be around and build really, really, really good relationships with those people.
And so who are those people then? Like I said, it could be a filter, it could be the actual type of business owner in their industry.
Yeah, so for me, obviously, I want to be around, from an insurance aspect, I want to be around lenders. I want to be around anyone in mortgage, and I want to be around real estate agents. You just had somebody on recently that is a very big inspiration to me and someone that I work with on a day-to-day basis, and that's Chad Nash. And just what he's done in 1 year and a half is just astounding and unbelievable. And so, as I talked about being around people that inspire you, you can't feel like you're there and like that you've gotten there. You got to find people that continue to make you feel like you still have places to go. So real estate agents, mortgage lenders, but quite frankly, anyone that's in business that likes to play golf.
Yeah, there you go. Well, so just talking about Chad Nash, because I mean, you guys didn't even meet until recently, right? Didn't you guys exchange a lot of pleasantries through social media? Which, again, guys, this is the world that we live in now, is where you can feel like you socially identify with somebody without even ever even meeting them in the first place.
Yeah.
And then finally meeting, and now you have that bond or that connection.
Yeah, me and Chad we had tried to get together just for lunch, coffee, beers, whatever it was, 3 or 4 different times, and something kept coming up in our schedule. And we kind of finally trusted that the people that we have around us and the people that connected us in the first place, we have such a good bond with them that we trusted each other. And I know that sounds crazy, but me and him, he passed numerous of his home buying leads to us to take care of from an insurance standpoint before I even got to see him or meet him face to face. But I think that he was able to understand who we were and kind of the work that we do through the people that I connect with,
Yep.
you being one of them,
Yep.
and a lot of other people that are in my network. And we just, you can build trust without having
Yep.
to be right in front of somebody all
Yep.
the time. And that's what social media does so well and
Yep.
so quickly right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, Chad Nash was actually a graduate of my program. I mean, he almost did $300,000 GCI in his first year. So we did our very first Spend Time with Talent interview, if you want to go watch that one with him, specific to the real estate business. So that's definitely a good one. Now, talking again, I want to give people tangible things. I know you teach a class on social media, right? Is it Facebook? Is it video? Talk through, again, like just kind of educate people on the value of that for you, what it's helped you do, and really going forward.
Well, I would say so the class I work with, I teach a couple classes, but I usually do a lot of life insurance type sales classes for, the agents that are within our district. I do talk to a lot of agents that are across the state as well. I've been asked to speak numerous times there. I think the big piece is that when you're teaching, you're educating, and when you're the educator, you're looked at as the person that knows what they're talking about. And so I highly recommend anybody that has a grasp of knowledge on their specific business that they're working with to go out and share that love, share that education with other people. Not only is that going to make the business area better, but people are going to look up to you. People are going to start knowing that you're the one that has all the answers. If he has all the answers, then why am I not working with him?
Yeah.
Right?
But the point of this is you have to be good at what you do. You have to know. You have to be an expert in
Yes.
your industry, right?
You do. If you're just starting out your business and you're going out and teaching classes, that's probably not the best way to go about doing it. But build credibility, build some confidence, be around the right people, and I think that education part of it down the road is huge for it's been great for my business.
Perfect. Or if you are newer and you understand the value of video marketing and social media, especially to your sphere and your actual networks of people, do 90-second videos, right?
Totally.
Because it makes you get better. It makes you get better on camera. it makes you get better with your content, right? Like, it might be daunting for you to think about right now, I got to go Facebook Live and do a 10-minute video, right?
Totally.
Or even do an interview like this. You might be like completely freaked out. However, you can build up to it.
Yeah, that's actually what I started doing. And you noticed it, is I started doing little like 30-second to minute and a half type videos of just content, not necessarily all insurance specific, but more so just about how can I reach more people, how can I talk to more people and bring value to people's lives. And I started doing that about a year and a half ago. My business has completely just changed 100% from when I started making social media something that I take pride in, something that I do on a daily basis to bring value to my clients, to bring value to my referral partners, the people that I'm around, my family. It's been huge for me.
So the last question I have for us as we wrap up, and again, because I always want to get into people's databases.
Yeah.
Because we've all heard your net worth is your network is your net worth, and your database is king. How have you built your database? Like I said, going all the way back. I mean, you're from here, right? You're a native. You already had a database of people, which always helps. But kind of talk through that process now 9 years later of how you've continued to not only build a database but maintain it and scrub it.
Yeah, so my database luckily is pretty warm. I have a pretty warm market here in Colorado. I grew up in Broomfield. And like you said, I've been a connector for a while, so I have a pretty good amount of people that are around that I work with. But it started with internet leads, and it started with prospecting and cold calling, and it started with going door. I was literally knocking door to door. For insurance, that's hard. I feel like it's hard. But that's how I built my database in the beginning. But towards the end, it was more so all about referral partners, reaching out to the right people and sitting down and having those conversations, but having to bring value to what they're doing in order for them to give it back. I see too many insurance agents trying to walk door to door within mortgage offices, right? Hey, I sell insurance. That's cool. There's a million of you that come in here every day, right? Yeah. It's more so how can I be introduced to the right people from my network, and how can I bring value to their business? They're not going to want to give you leads or be around you if you're not adding value to them. So being able to put them on your social media, shouting out to your referral partners, putting a video together, making sure they understand how much you care about them, that kind of thing. Just being different than every other insurance agent is what's been good for me.
Yeah. So your referral partners, your connectors, are a big part of your business, right?
Huge.
Because the people that are using them, they then refer you the business. Therefore, they already trust you as the expert.
Yes, and I'd say we close about 75% of any referral lead that comes from one of my referral partners, and I think that's a pretty high closing rate. That's a huge closing rate.
Yeah.
It's just because referral business needs to be that easy to pass.
Yeah.
And they make it easy for us. So we love working with our referral.
And guys, the reason this is so important, especially working in a commoditized industry like insurance, is you're going to get shopped. You're like, that's just how the insurance world works. That's how my world works. That's how real estate, mortgage, everybody's world works. So when somebody's already coming to you warm as a trusted expert, they're not going to shop you nearly as much. Would you agree?
100% agree. 100% agree. Less shopping, more trust. And I'll use Chad for example. I'm almost like a part of his process now.
Yeah.
Meaning, I'm checklist number 4 on his process of selling a home, and that brings me to a really quick point. Teaching your referral partners how to refer you is, I think, 10 times more important than just getting as many leads as you possibly can. Chad Nash does a great job because I'm a part of his process in the referral process. So it's almost like they have to call me before they can move forward to the next thing, and that is what I love.
So he has a system, right, for when he closed the deal, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're a part of that system.
And luckily I'm part of that system for sure. Yeah. And I have a lot of referral partners that I send business to that are part of my system as well.
That's exactly right.
So, yes.
That's exactly right. Perfect. Yep. All right, so last key takeaway here, you're going back to Bryce of 23, 24. Any kind of just one little, one-liners you want to give that person, or even just piece of advice?
Yeah, no matter what every day holds for you, continue to stay on the path of your goals later on. If you don't have goals set that you're going to try to achieve, then you're kind of just going nowhere, the way I look at it. So there was a lot of times that I walked into certain situations. I even called a few people and said, why am I doing this? And I had some people talk me back into what I'm doing now, and I just thank God that they did that for me. So my 2 cents is continue to move forward on the path of where you want to be.
Yeah.
And quit listening to everyone else tell you that you're not good enough to do it.
I love it, man. The 10-year overnight success story. That's where you're at right now.
I'll take 10
Right.
years.
That could be a book that you write.
Yeah, I'm
right
down.
now. All right. Well, I do appreciate Bryce coming in here. Bryce Babcock.
Thanks, brother.
I feel like you have like a Hollywood name, anyways. Man, you were meant to be famous with that name.
I got something.
That's exactly right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Bryce, if somebody wants to reach out to you, where can they find you?
You can just Google Bryce Babcock Farmers Insurance. That's an easy way. You can contact me at my office, 303-996-6509, or feel free to email me at bbabcock@farmersagent.com.
And your favorite golf course?
Torrey Pines.
All right.
Easy.
All right.
South course.
Your favorite local golf course that they might find you at?
Walnut Creek.
Okay, there you go.
Boom.
So stumble over to Walnut Creek, you might run into this guy.
Yes, you will.
Thank you guys so much. Until next time.